All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And to all the first-time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel, and to all the subscribers, welcome back. So here we are with Ocugen Inc., OCGN. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about this because it's been falling a little bit hard. We've talked about this before. We've talked about the support, that if this got closer to $6 way back when here, and it touched close to 560, 580, and it jumped up to 780, then pulled back, and then ran up again to $8 and some change. We had two spikes and then consolidation and falling. Now, these type of spikes had me a little bit concerned due to the fact that they were just happening before any anticipation, and it almost seemed like those were the spikes we were waiting for, yet FDA approval has not been announced and the stock keeps on falling lower. Now, the part of the picture that we're missing, like I always say, because this was going downwards as well for some time, and it looked like investors lost hope, right after, shortly after, it ran up and it hit highs of $18. I'm not saying that same exact run could happen again, but there is something that's happening right now, and this stock may hit what some other articles have said. So I've been doing my research because we're waiting on FDA approval. We've seen this jump. We all know this is speculative. We all know the risk, right? If it doesn't come through. But there's a few things that are happening right now. So with Pfizer announcing, their news of, having to do a third shot, and then, Moderna, that third shot, even though it sounds like, oh my gosh, 3 shots in the process of, getting vaccinated with Pfizer, that's more revenue and more market share for Pfizer, okay? And that's the part that Ocugen is hurting right now because it hasn't gotten FDA approval. It hasn't even rolled out yet. It needs to start rolling out. It needs to get over here, right, to the US market and actually start being distributed. I think that's one of the things that's hurting the stock the most. I've said it plenty of times. Now, in the indicators, right, this is on its way to oversold. It hasn't touched this area down here, this low, since way back here in July 2020. And the last time it was in oversold area was June of 2020, when this thing was worth like 20 cents, and back here around that time. So this stock is about to hit oversold area, bound to hit a reversal. Now the interesting part, as it keeps going lower, it's going to get closer to this area of like 448, and even down here closer to, the high threes, like anywhere between, 380 and 448. So it's going to be important to watch this stock and how it's reacting within these indicators, because that's the 1-day chart. And when we put the 30-minute, it seems like it wants to reverse. So on the 1-day, it has room to pull back. On the 30, it might want to go up. So there is a lot of confusion here. And then when you read a lot of articles, yeah, they're looking more confusing than ever. And let's look at this together. So this article talks about why Ocugen is a stock from the Reddit penny stocks that you want to go ahead and have on your watch list. They talk about the different stocks here that are doing, vaccines as well. Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson. And what they're really looking for is Covaxin to go ahead and get itself out there. It needs to start rolling out. Now, with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine news, that hasn't done much to renew confidence in Ocugen's perspective. It's actually making it look a little weak. So, yet this recent news possibly paving the way for the long shot of the COVID-19 vaccine contender to the U.S. regulatory approval. So, what they really need is, okay, Johnson & Johnson got out of the picture. Let me throw myself into the picture. But it hasn't really paved the way completely for Ocugen. It's not building confidence in investors. If anything, they're leaving. Now, there's a stock that I swing trade this week, right? And I announced it in the morning briefings over at the Discord, because I talk about stocks every single morning to watch with potential and opportunity. And this stock here actually jumped. It jumped. It was INO. And the reason why this stock jumped, it was on this day. It was around $8 and some change, and it jumped up to 10.30, and then it pulled downwards. I swing traded this. The reason why this stock jumped, if you read their news and if you find it, is because they found that their vaccine that they're working on actually can make you immune to all the variants, right? The Brazilian one, the Europe one, and the ones to come. I don't know. They said like a whole bunch. And that's changing the game. And this is a US company. This isn't like the Covaxin deal with India coming over here. This is an American company based out in the United States. So this is already getting ahead, right, for the US market than Ocugen trying to bring Covaxin. So there's a lot of things and variables going on right now that are hurting Ocugen in the bigger picture. And this is all stuff that has happened within this week. Now, I read this article here, and this article says don't even think about Ocugen stock until it approaches the $4 mark on the 6th. Okay, I didn't read this article or anything. I was doing research and I found it. So this is a little bit older, and when this came out, the stock was spiking and doing well, so nobody was paying attention to this. But they were talking about how, Covaxin is doing well with everything, but Ocugen finished December with 24.2 million in cash thanks to all the market share sales. Its cash position is almost doubled by the end of February. So they're talking about how the company's doing as a business since last year and how they've taken advantage, right, of the run that happened in February. So when you see everything about this, and why not to buy Ocugen stock today, is the fact that the difference between where it's currently trading at $5 doesn't seem like a lot. However, 31% is a big deal when you consider it. It has a little in sales, might not have anything to show for its efforts for the remainder of 2021 into 2022. That right there is a little bit worrisome, okay? And that is showing that that's why this is considered a speculative stock, not something worth gambling your retirement savings on. Just because it's speculative in nature doesn't mean you should be willy-nilly about your purchase price. So that is huge. Now, we also have Novavax, right? Talking about the phase 3 clinical trials. And they're also talking about the UK variant and stuff and all that stuff. So that's not the only stock right now that's trying to get into the US market and be the better stock or the new hype stock. So Ocugen is almost losing fire here. And I'm just here to tell you guys, like, be careful, beware, and pay close attention, because this could all be just negative news to hurt the stock. Because when you think about April 6th was right here, and then we had a bounce. That's when we had that big jump that same week. So Ocugen has potential. Could it get closer to $4, $5 as we see it here on the graph and the indicator? Sure, that is something to keep in mind. But one article says something to watch. The other article is telling you don't even think about it till it gets to $4. And then when you start looking at all the competition that's out there and that's already moving, Covaxin needs to get over to the US market. But these other companies are already in the US market. And with their processes, it's making Ocugen's position smaller and smaller. Now, the Johnson & Johnson news, which was a big deal earlier, last week and the last 2 weeks, made these spikes happen, paving the way or the opportunity for Ocugen. But that was it. It made it look awesome. It made it look like an opportunity. And that was it. The stock had nothing else going for it because it's still waiting on that opportunity to bring it over. While within Europe and here, there's companies and other vaccines rolling out that have a higher chance of actually being distributed than Covaxin, that can do similarly what Covaxin claims to be able to do, almost making Covaxin near worthless on having to go through all the trouble, right, of bringing it over here. And why not just use what's in-house, like INO and other companies like Novavax that's working with the UK and America and so forth. So yeah, very interesting. So what are we looking for here? So our support right now is $5.52. If that gets broken through, you want to watch how this reacts between $5 and 52 cents, right? $5 and $5.52. And our resistance is up here at $5.98. That needs to be broken through, but it does not signify that they have gained control. The bulls have gained control. Not at all. That is just a support level to watch to see this jump up to newer highs, new resistance levels getting closer to the 50-day moving average, and the 50-day moving average needs to be crossed, which is 639 for the bulls to get back into bullish territory, reach newer highs and new resistance levels. So keep these numbers in mind, watch them carefully, and as always guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.